It really started when I went up to visit my father. It was one night where I just could not sleep. It was anxiety, fear, physical things happening to my body. It was from that point on that I was probably sleeping some nights, maybe 15, 20 minutes, an hour. I was so disarrayed that I thought nothing is gonna take this away. The sleep deprivation was literally killing my body. And you're kind of in this desperate stage of just reaching out to try to find anything to bring you peace. Eventually I started taking medication. I felt like I became so dependent upon this medication to sleep. It kind of went against everything of what I believed. All the faith that I had to say, this can be overcome. It maybe made me sleep for a few hours, but I felt very low, very suppressed. I wasn't myself. I felt like myself was living in a shell of who I used to be. I really longed to be back to who I was, joyful, happy, loving people, serving people. And it really started to turn the tide when I was on a camping trip with a bunch of my friends. I remember going home and being so exhausted, and that even the medication wasn't working anymore, and being so tired that I literally just got on my knees in front of my couch and I fell asleep for like an hour. And I had no medication, there was nothing going on, and it just gave me this glimmer of hope. Like, this can be done, something can be done. And the biggest fear that I had was, if you stop taking this medication, you could die. But it was after that day that I had fallen asleep, I said, well, okay, I'm doing it. And I began to just not take the medication. It was sleepless night after sleepless night. It came into August. Someone asked me, will you go and serve the less fortunate people in Africa? And I'm like, yeah, I will. And we're building a youth center on a place called Mafia Island. And it was after 3 days of being there that I just fell asleep, slept the whole night through, just woke up with peace. The physical ailments that were happening in my body began to go away. And as I began to serve out there and serve others, I knew that I was healed. So now, when I experienced this new freedom when I was in Africa, it kind of opened me up to take the focus off myself in this moment. I had to take my focus off my problem, take my focus off all my fears, take my focus off all my anxiety, and put it on serving and loving someone else. And then I've been walking in that freedom ever since. That's where I would really just throw it out to everyone out there who's listening to this, who's seeing this, that if you feel dark, if you feel hopeless, if you're struggling with sleep, anxiety, depression, fear, all these things that come up, and you feel that there's no way out, that there's no hope, I'm telling you that there is hope. That I was set free, that I was in a situation of not sleeping for 2 years, being on medication after medication after medication, and I want to let you know that I'm free.